For?
Yeah, certainly that's not how you want to draw it up, right? I mean, that's not what we're trying to do. It was poor execution, not tied together, and there was too much of that. And I take accountability, and starting with me. Like, yeah, we've got to be cleaner and across the board. It wasn't just one play. There were a multitude of plays, and it wasn't good enough. It was disappointing. We gotta continue to refine and eliminate those things, and give us a chance to have the best chance to win. And each situation is different. What we're trying to do is establish communication, from top down when we communicate what we're trying to get done relative to the situation, and obviously trying to get our plays in accordance with what we're trying to do, whatever that situation entails. And that for us, there was no different situation from my standpoint other than to get the plays in and try to give what we thought would give us the best opportunity.
Is there any communication? Because do you tell
guys have at different times given us quality reps, and I think the balance between those two, there's been good moments. And is it all perfect? No, but it's not. It hasn't been perfect at every position either. So there's Lakin's a very instinctive, savvy veteran player that's played a lot of football. He's very tough. Juice has really done a good job and continued to improve from the time we had him here, even training camp when Pats came on. And there's been moments. Is it perfect? No, but in general terms, positive plays. And then in the course of the last game, as we ended that first half, ended up mixing a little bit of tempo there, jumped the ball, gave us a little bit of rhythm, tried to get back to that a little bit in the second half. In hindsight, wish we probably should have stuck more runs in there, honestly, to balance it out a little bit. And got to be more disciplined in doing that. No excuse. I mean, that's my assessment looking back at it. And wish I would have done that a little bit.
Last year,
Practice, clarity, communication, talking about it in the meeting room, going out and getting extra work at it, putting those guys in different situations, challenging our protection looks. Made some progress. Again, that's the most disappointing part of that. That was one part of it. Heading into that game that I thought over the last couple of weeks we really showed some substantial progress in, and that was just one of like I said, it was run game, it was some of the stunts, etc. We've talked about it. Those guys have done a really good job. We got a lot of faith. The guys that we put out there, we have faith in. They go out and work, they compete, they rotate, and again, that's no different than when we talk about the offensive line. Those guys have position flex from outside to inside, inside to outside, C to X, X to F, and we move those guys around a decent amount, which has helped us. And we have a lot of faith in whoever's out there. And those two that you mentioned, a lot of it's fundamentally technique. While you're talking about pass sets, if that's what you're referring to, I don't know. I'm assuming so. Just being able to play more within yourself and with the technique. And he's a very conscientious guy. I got a lot of respect and love for him. He cares an awful lot, and it's like anything else. Unfortunately, you go through this, and you got to learn from it. That's what you have to do. You have to learn, and you have to apply, and you have to move forward. And is it frustrating? Yeah, it's disappointing.